Welcome, guys. We did it. The final lesson for Math 7, lesson 120. So today's lesson is going to be about graphing nonlinear functions or equations. The truth about this lesson, and I'm going to say it right off the bat, the truth about this lesson is that I'm not really interested whether or not you can graph them, okay? We're not actually asking you that. If you actually turn to example 1, they ask you to do it in the calculator. However, the calculator you have won't be able to graph it. You do need to have one of these. This is called a graphing calculator. That's why we get it, so that you know how to graph it. So I am going to eventually, later on, I don't know if it's going to be me. I don't know if it's going to be somebody else. But the truth is this. As you advance in math, you will learn how to graph both by hand and in the calculator. So that's not my interest right now, to be able to teach you how to do it. My interest right now is for you to understand that there's going to be other types of equations that are not linear, that are not a straight line. There are other shapes that are going to happen. Okay, so we're going to talk about a quadratic equation or function. It's actually a quadratic function. And we're also going to talk about rational function. All right, so we're going to talk about two different types of things. So I'm going to actually do it in the calculator, show you what it looks like so that you understand that not all of them are lines. I'm not really interested in you actually doing it, being able to graph it. And the truth is that you don't have to do this for 8th grade. For 8th grade, you don't have to graph this. This would be crazy if I asked you to do this. This is actually Algebra 1 stuff that you do have to learn how to do it. But I'm not even going to teach you how to do this in the first quarter of Algebra 1. This is why it's crazy to me that this is the last lesson of Math 7. There's no way that you guys are going to remember what's going to happen by the time you get to Algebra 1. You guys don't even remember what happened in 6th grade. How are you going to remember in 2 years what happened in Math 7? That's crazy. So that's one of the reasons I'm telling you, it's a lot of filler content that I don't really agree with, but that's what the lesson is. So let's actually jump into the lesson. Okay, so for the first example, we have this equation, y equals x squared. This is actually not called a squared equation. It's called a quadratic equation. I know, it kind of doesn't make sense. And it's right here again. And then they actually put a table in which they go 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9, and then negative 1, 1, negative 2, 4, negative 3, 9. Okay, and then they put some points in this page, and then in the next page, they actually show you it. But I told you I was going to show you in my calculator. So look at that. I have this in my calculator, x equals 2. Then I can actually show you my table. This is my table right here. So I started my table at negative 2. I could start at negative 3 with them. Negative 3, 9, negative 2, 4, negative 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, and 3, 9. And then I just graph it. Oh, wow, look at that. That's called a parabola, by the way. And it's not a line. It's not a straight line. That's why it's important for you to understand that it doesn't have a straight line. And it does have an axis of symmetry, meaning that it has symmetry because you can actually put this and bend it, like if you fold it, a piece of paper, and fold it upon itself, and that would be like a perfect fit. That's why it's called an axis of symmetry. So all I want you to know is how this looks more like anything. By the way, this looks like a U. Okay? That looks like a U. Kind of looks like a U, right? Yeah, that's what I would call it. All right. So let's move on to the other example. But wait. Let's actually give you the last opportunity for bonus. So today's bonus is actually something that I think is going to be important for many reasons, I think. So the first one is for those of you who want 3 bonus points, the first 5 people that do it down below in the comments for YouTube, you have to tell me what your favorite preacher is. And one of the reasons I think this is really interesting is because everybody has had to be preaching online at some way, shape, or form. So if it's somebody that's already on YouTube, great, because I could just find it. If it's the pastor at your church or, you know, your youth pastor or something like that, then that would be awesome too, because maybe I could get to listen to them. It's one of those things that it's really important to be able to listen to the Word of God. And so I think that's a good idea to do. So yeah, just put whoever your favorite preacher is, and then I would love to be able to listen to some of their preachings. If you could let me know if it's like your pastor or somebody from your church, how I would be able to do that. I know that sometimes it could be through Facebook, it could be through Instagram, it could be through YouTube, it could be through so many other things. So yeah, let me know. And for those of you who then come a little bit late and can't do it on YouTube, on Google Classroom, I want you to write, who's your favorite YouTuber? Just because I could also just want to know maybe interesting YouTube channels that I could look at. All right, so yeah, so those are new on YouTube. Favorite preacher, those are new on Google Classroom. Who is your favorite YouTuber? All right, let's move on. And finally, the last example of all of Math 7. Hooray! We have this one. Graph y, 6 over x. And so these two are kind of stuff that we talked about lately, and that's one of the reasons I think they wanted you to know how to do it. So I put it in my calculator. Let me actually put it the right way so that you guys can see it better. And be like, wow, that looks exactly like what it is. Yes. So in here, I have it, 6 over x. Did you see that? 6 over x on here. All right, and so let me show you the table. The table from -3 is -3, -2, -2, -3, -1, -6, 0 error, because you cannot divide by 0. And so that's the part where it makes the error. 1, 6, 2, 3, 3, 2, and then we have 4 3/2, and it's kind of weird. Anyway, if you look here, you will see a weird graph, and let's actually graph it. I'm going to graph it right in front of your eyes. Okay. Well, what happened there? Huh? What's going on? Well, that's a graph. It actually has this line right here that it will never touch, and that line is the y-axis. It will never touch the y-axis, and for some reason, it would never touch the x-axis too. And that's what we call a rational function. And so that's what it looks like, and I wanted you to see what it looks like, but not really know how to graph it. This is a hard one to graph. In fact, we teach you how to do this 4th quarter of Algebra 1. This is why I don't understand why we're doing it right now. So don't worry about this. And just know what it is. And that would be it. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching and tuning in and having patience. And I know that this hasn't been easy for everyone, but that's it. We are done.